Hi. So, welcome back. I'm Esther from His Yoke is Easy, His Burden is Light, where we talk about the things of the Lord. And today's topic is about giving. It's just something that I've just been thinking about it a lot. So, Proverbs 3, verse 9 and 10 says, Honor the Lord with your substance and with the first fruits of all your produce. Then your barns will be filled with plenty, and your vats will be bursting with wine. And then we'll read Hebrews 7, verse 8. It says, Here in the earth, tithes are received by mortal men, there by one of whom it is testified that he lives. Okay, so giving is such a point of contention for in the church today. It was never a point of contention ever, but it is in the church today. So let's talk about it. I don't understand why people have an issue with giving. Okay, maybe I understand. Yeah, but at the same time, it doesn't make that much sense because most people don't like to give because of their pastor who bought a jet with their tithe. But the thing is, giving was not about the pastor, giving was about God, honoring the Lord, just the way we've said. And yes, in the old times, whatever they used to give used to feed the Levites and the people who stayed in the church in the temple. And the Levites never became rich of what they were being given by the people. The Levites, I think, they were not the richest community. They did not have an inheritance, that is, with the land and all that, because they were earning from the temple, the things that were going to the temple. But what happens today is we have pastors who feed themselves, as Jeremiah said. So even back then, there were people who used to steal from the church. That did not stop the people from back then from giving. They still used to give, but they had people who were stealing, because giving is not about the people, giving is about the Lord. Giving is not about the pastor, giving is about the Lord and what the Lord wants us to do. So, yeah, they used to steal a lot, and that's why Jeremiah told them, woe to the priests, woe to the elders who steal from the Lord, who steal from the people, who feed themselves and not feed the flock. So, about pastors stealing, they do steal, but I think that is on our part. That is our fault. We do not hold these people accountable. There are no consequences when they steal. There are no consequences when they buy a car and you people cannot afford to take your children to school. We do not hold them accountable. We do not go to the Lord. First of all, hold them accountable here. Second of all, hold them accountable with the Lord, and we say, huyu mchungaji mwenye ulitupea is stealing from us. We don't do that. We do not go and petition the courts of heaven. We do not go and petition the Lord and say that, can you deal with this man who has stolen from your vine, who has stolen from your people? And then maybe the Lord will live and tell you, um, I did not call him. He came because he wanted money. You're not supposed to be in that church. And then you leave the church. And most people don't involve the Lord in the things that they do. And then when things go badly, they wonder. You should be asking the Lord if this is a church where I should be giving. Number one. Number two, another reason why giving was very important is because, yeah, the Levites used to eat from there. And the there would in Malachi 3:10, the Lord says, you're supposed to be giving that there may be food in my house. I think in Haggai 2 as well, he talks about how you guys have a lot of food, your houses are doing well, but my house has been abandoned. Yeah. So it was very important that there should be food in the house of the Lord always, because the Lord always takes care of people. So if you're struggling, you would always be able to get something from the house of the Lord. Yeah. In Antioch and with the early church, they always had food. They would sell their houses. If someone is having a bad time, they would give and give and give, and there were no poor people. They would pull their funds together. That is the type of energy we're supposed to be having as believers. Yeah. That no one is supposed to be struggling. Yeah. No one is supposed to be struggling. Another word says there will always be poor in the land. But the early church were able to help each other out. That's what the word says. They were able to help everyone out and they would bring the money to the apostles and the apostles would be able to divide. Wouldn't it be great if you go to church and someone didn't have fee, they get fee. Someone didn't have rent, they get rent. Like even looking for ideas and ways to ensure that everyone is okay. But we don't do that because again we are afraid that the mchungaji is going to steal our money. And I even wonder what does not make as much sense to me because it's our fault we do not hold them accountable. We do not raise these concerns that we have. We just decide we're not going to give, and then also the Lord has no food, which is something that the older generation were cursed because of. And you think that God is the same today, yesterday, forever. He will curse you for the same thing. Yeah, I just read Haggai too. Anyway, so now we've said that, and there's something else I wanted to say. Wait a minute. So yeah, the Levites used to eat, but they never used to get like so rich because it wasn't like about them getting rich, it was about them being sustained. Number one. Number two, the Levites never used to have like jobs the way the pastors of today have jobs. They have jobs, they work. So it's not like they're not supposed to be like being wholly wholly what dependent on the church because they work. Just the same way Paul said, you know, I work. Those who work do not get to eat. He was working. He was a tent maker. So whenever the funds were not and the giving from the churches were not enough, he had a place to get his providence from. So pastors nowadays work, but they want surplus from the church, which is, I don't. That is not okay. And then they'll buy a car, they'll buy a jet, guys. Anyway, so giving is very important. In Hebrews we've read that the Lord, he receives tithe in heaven, and if he receives tithe in heaven, he's getting nothing from you. Why? Why? Like, why should he receive? The same way David said, "Why should I give the Lord something that costs me nothing?" A sacrifice means that it's imeniuma pahali. That's a sacrifice. A sacrifice isn't just like an that doesn't mean ulale njaa. It just means that it should be something that you're consciously doing it and you're thinking about it and you're thinking, how can I honor the Lord? And you come up with whatever it is in your heart. It's not supposed to be pressured. It's not supposed to be something that, I'm giving it because I want. I'm giving it because I'm giving it because everyone gives or whatever. It's supposed to be, you're giving it to honor the Lord. God does not need your money, that is true, but He gave it to you. You're supposed to honor Him with everything. God does not need your talents. God does not need, your singing voice of you. God does not need your praise. He does not need anything from you, but we still give Him praise. We still give Him glory. We worship Him. We tell people about Him. Why is it that only when it comes to money is where we're going to say God does not need your money, but when it's praise, adoration, He doesn't need those things from you. What do you think the angels are doing? In any case, even if they were silent, Jesus says that the rocks would cry out in worship. The word says that the earth knows its maker, the earth glorifies Him. So, why are we like this? Do you know that when you honor the Lord with your substance, it's just showing Him that He has preeminence in all the things that you do, that you love Him above your wealth, that you honor Him in the things that He has given you. Mind you, the first person to give tithe was Abraham. Jacob also gave tithe. I think even Isaac gave tithe. So why are we behaving like, I'm not sure about Isaac, but I know Abraham and Jacob, and then everyone else. Yes, another thing is people say that as long as you give to the poor, why is it that we're okay with giving to people who are outside? Now the poor see you from where, but in the church, our brothers and sisters who we interact with every day, it is okay if them they're hungry and them they are not okay. and we don't even want to think about ways of helping each other. We don't want to think about, oh, we've really noticed so and so is usually having this issue. Let's get her a job. Let's do this. We don't want to help each other in the church, in our circle, but we want to help at, last week I gave street kids some food. It's not bad to give the kids some food, but charity begins at home. So hapa mnataka kila mtu ainame, but huko nje, because you posted, you're going to nini it on TikTok, you want everyone to see that you give to those people. What is that? Is that not hypocrisy? So watu wenye wako ndani ya church, she's struggling with debt, she's struggling with school fees for her kids, she's struggling with all the things, she's even struggling with her marriage, nini nini. But if someone asks you for advice outside, you would help them, so that it can be said that so and so helps me what. Anyway, I think you should think about it. Either way, do whatever you want. The Bible is very clear about what it says, but you do whatever you want. Personally, I will continue to give. I will continue to give time. I will continue to pray about it. And if someone is stealing, then they should be held accountable. Yeah, but it's not a reason. The way human beings behave does not mean that it changes the way the Lord is supposed to be respected, and the way the Lord is supposed to be honored and glorified and magnified. Yeah, because a human being does something bad does not mean that now God changes from who He is and how He has been operating for all this time, eons and eons, ages, ages. He's the Alpha and Omega. So, from the foundations of the world, He set these things up. And then us now in this generation, we want to. No, I think not. So, yes, give